Hey everybody, welcome to episode 38 of the Final Fantasy VIII playthrough. I always have trouble keeping track of these numbers for some reason. When it gets above like 10, I'm bad. I honestly don't want to talk here because I like the scene so much. Damn it, I love that line. But yeah, I can't be quiet any longer or else it wouldn't be good, I don't think. But sorry if I'm a little lower energy in this recording. I basically got confirmed for my Friday night, my own reset for my night gig that's coming up, my night job, and warehouse associate or whatever they want me to do, I'll do it because I'll lose weight and I'll get fit and all that while making more money than I made during my day job. So suck it, I win. But yeah, like I said, I feel kind of bad talking over this part. Oh, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't finish my earlier thought. I said forgive it if it's low energy because I've been on a weird sleep schedule to get back to being awake at nights again. Like today, I got up basically at 4:30 in the PM, and I've been going to bed around between like 8:30 and 10 a.m. this whole week so far. You weren't carrying someone on your back, Quistis. Oh, bunch of smart asses too. Yeah, so we're going to, like I said in the last episode, we're going to xenophobic Esther. Here on the previously inaccessible continent. And guess who's tagging along? Edia, that's who. Because what she's saying right now. She has to go see the doctor to maybe suppress her power. But, yeah, she's one of those temporary party members that, I don't know. I don't even use her, I don't think. I mean, you kind of have to at one part here coming up, but, I don't think I even junction anything to her. Just skip over her turn or have her block or something. Not that she's a terrible character. Obviously, her magic stats and stuff are pretty decent, but... And I was just watching a playthrough... Brain Scratch Comms, actually. I'll give them a shout-out because they're awesome. They're a playthrough of Final Fantasy IX, and they were talking about what I'm going to bring up here, which is... in this game, you don't really have to appreciate the different stats of the characters because you can kind of mold them. I've joked around through the playthrough before. You can mold them all into their own little demigods, basically. Experts of all damage. Especially physicals for the guys and more magical stuff for the girls. Like, well, we'll see. Here, I'll drop this spoiler on you. The final fight, like the final end boss, I don't even think we use Squall at all. There's another character that becomes insanely powerful. And I basically showed it to Lennon way back when I first recorded it. From Lennon Free Commentary, who's linked down below on my channel. Not in this video, and he does some other stuff with me, but... You know, from the Majora's Mask. Anyway, I'm being ridiculous here. But, I showed it to him, and he basically said, "My God, how did you do that? An endgame boss shouldn't be that easy." It wasn't that easy in my planning, but anyway, going through the Salt Flats here, and as Irvine and Selfie told us in game. But first, like everything else, we gotta take time to adjust. And boy, do we have to adjust. I don't think there's any really title in the series, up till 10 anyway, where you don't have to take a significant time to plan your next soiree, so to speak. Yeah, crossing that. And it gets dark. Notice the flickering in the background there. That probably means something. Spoiler alert, it does. We'll be all the way by your side. I like Zell. He's such a positive Pete, as opposed to a negative Ned. Ain't got no time for negative Neds. Yeah, this whole Ultimecia reveal here that's, that kind of happened at the end of Disc 2. Yeah, they kind of, I'll be honest, I love Final Fantasy VIII, but I think they kind of dropped the ball here with it. Because, okay, we know at the end of Disc 2, Safer and Renoa talked to her, and we saw that, the pass-out scene, so to speak, at the end of the actual disc. But they just kind of disappear here for a little bit. I mean, they come back pretty soon, but I don't know. I felt the game sort of like gets not out of line with the story. I don't know how to phrase it, but it starts to get more and more incredible, I guess would be the way to say it. Not that I mind, like, the characters going into, well, spoiler alert, they go into space later on. It's like, not that I mind that, but it's like, the whole space part could have been really cut out. It didn't need to be there. If they just sent us to, like, another continent or something. I don't know, something about the inclusion of space really is weird to me about this story. It seems so out of place, and, like, very real world military grounded more in reality than in fantasy, this game, honestly. More sci-fi edge. Even so, I think a little bit more than Final Fantasy VII, because even that had its, well, that had the meteor spell too, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like, positing on something insane here, but this is the... Okay, suffice by saying this. What's coming up here is my least favorite part of the game, probably. Well, other than the prison escape that takes way too long, but that's an isolated incident. And this son of a bitch. Here's the... Every game has one, an undead monster. Right here, see, Squall even explains it to us. But this guy's unique in that he'll, like, take the offensive and defensive stance here. You'll see what I'm talking about. Renzaku still pretty... Squall's still pretty ahead of the curve on damaging, to be honest. See what happens. Alright, it's decent for just a level 1 cure. Here, and this is also the part of the game where Meltdown becomes a pretty useful magic. It reduces the enemy's defense stats to like 0. So they just take the normal amount of... They take the amount of damage that they would take from a character that's, it's maxed out. Like, before it was doing, what, like 500 or 600 damage, now it's doing 1400. Like, it's pure damage power. So, get him, Squall. See, the demigod thing I'm talking about. Look at all that damage. Jesus. And then here, we're going to tack some more on. And then later on, when he gets his Lionheart sword, like his ultimate weapon kind of thing, it's fucking over. He does up to, and I counted it, he does up to 17 hits of possible 9999 damage. Now, if that doesn't kill them in turn 1, it will kill them by turn 2. Now, how it works is it has a... Like, what overdrive he does changes depending on his sword. So it kind of... It's the least likely one to be performed. But at least with... I think with the Lionheart, you always have a chance of that follow-up. Like Rough Divide, or the one that shoots the energy, or the big beam that cuts through the sky. You might see all these in the playthrough. He has 4 possible attacks, and like I said, which one he does depends on the sword he's using. I've basically been running with this sword that's made from the, oh, what's that monster called? like the unicorn goat, the unicorn goat blade type thing since disc 1. So you can conceivably complete the game with just level 1 weapons, but why would you? Anyway, remember I said that sky was something? Here's why it's something. And I do believe, well, it might not be in this one because there's only 3 minutes left in this episode, but I love having a microphone that I can just hold in my hand now as opposed to a headset one or something. I might have said that before, but it's great. It wasn't expensive either. I mean, if I really wanted to, I'd follow like Casey or Lennon's example, get one of those nice super desk mics, but I like to move while I'm recording, so. Or I'm not jacking off or anything, I'm just doing calisthenics, I guess. Yes, it's an elevator, Zell. Ugh. But I don't care. I'm in love. See, Squall is pretty cool, actually. I think it's more the haters that just regard him as, you know, the crying emo boy, whatever. I got news for you, like every Final Fantasy main character, at least from 7 on, has been this way. 6 there really isn't a main character. But 6 through 10 and 12. I'll throw 12 in there too. I like 12 a lot. Those are my favorites. But will they all be covered? Possibly. I really like doing RPGs. Because it's like each time you play through, it's kind of... It can be a different experience depending on how you choose to play. So it's kind of like... I'm excited to get to the next area and see what happens. It's like reading a good book. You're like so excited to turn the page, you know? Sneeze. But here we go. Whee! Can we go again? Everyone gets a roller coaster. They turn their city into an amusement park. So there you go. We'll see where this picks up in the next episode, because I believe we're on the verge of another time from the past here. It's going to hit any minute. I know this. I'm clairvoyant, I tell you. Wait, there it goes. Oh shit, I called it. So, I guess until then, we'll see you next time. And, lots of love. Take it easy. RowlesTheGamer. Peace out. Bye-bye.